In the unpredictable tapestry of our lives, there are moments when the road ahead seems shrouded in mystery, a path we never chose, a journey we struggle to comprehend. We lose cherished parts of ourselves, confront crises that shake us to the core, or feel as if the very ground beneath our feet is crumbling into chaos. Yet, imagine for a moment that every formidable challenge we encounter is imbued with a secret purpose. That every loss, every error, and every unforeseen twist is not merely random misfortune, but a vital element of a grander, all-encompassing design. Buddhist wisdom gently reminds us that nothing in this universe happens by accident. Each experience, no matter how painful, molds us, instructs us, and draws us ever closer to a profound truth hidden beneath the surface of everyday existence. In this heartfelt exploration, we invite you to journey with us as we uncover how to place our trust in life's unfolding, to accept the inevitable ebbs and flows, and to transform every stumbling block into a stepping stone toward personal growth. If you have ever found yourself whispering into the silence, "Why must I endure this suffering?" then we encourage you to remain present until the very end, because what you are about to discover may forever alter the lens through which you view your existence. At the very heart of our shared human experience is the mysterious purpose behind suffering. Pain, loss, and disappointment are universal companions that spare no one. Yet, what truly distinguishes us is not the magnitude of our trials, but the way in which we choose to interpret them. In Buddhist thought, suffering is not a form of divine retribution nor a capricious twist of fate, rather, it is regarded as a wise, if sometimes harsh, mentor, even when we fail to grasp its lessons in the midst of turmoil. Every hardship harbors a concealed intention to ignite transformation within us. When pain rears its formidable head, our natural impulse is to resist it, to wish it away as we long for a return to the past, a time when comfort reigned. We yearn for our troubles to vanish as if by magic, for the bitterness to be erased. But what if, instead of a curse, suffering is actually a catalyst for renewal? Much like how the intense heat of a flame refines gold, the fires of adversity strip away our inessential burdens and reveal the shimmering core of who we truly are. The enlightened teachings of the Buddha stress that while pain is an inescapable part of life, we always have the power to decide whether to allow unnecessary suffering to consume us. The secret lies in our attitude. If we cling to our pain, it lingers. If we wage an internal battle against it, we amplify its force. Yet, if we learn to observe our suffering with a calm detachment, we begin to see that every painful moment cradles a tiny seed of wisdom, waiting patiently to be nurtured. Consider a timeless Buddhist parable. A devoted disciple once lamented to his revered master about the persistent injustice of his life. Overwhelmed by the belief that fate had conspired against him, the wise master, with a gentle smile, requested that his pupil fetch a modest handful of salt. Following the command, the disciple poured the salt into a glass of water and took a sip, only to recoil at the overwhelming bitterness. Then, The master led him to the edge of a vast lake and instructed him to release the same pinch of salt into its waters. After the salt dissolved, the disciple sampled the water once more, and this time, his face lit up with delight at its refreshing purity. The master then imparted a profound truth. The bitterness of our suffering does not lie in the salt itself, but in the container we choose to place it in. In other words, by broadening our perspective, we can transform even the most bitter experiences into something almost sweet. Learning to see pain as a transformative force rather than an inescapable affliction. When we narrow our focus solely to our anguish, it tends to seep into every corner of our being, overwhelming our spirit. However, by expanding our view to recognize that each moment is part of a grander mosaic, we begin to see that our pain does not have to dominate our existence. Instead of incessantly asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we might begin to wonder, "What is this experience trying to teach me?" All too often, the most arduous trials pave the way for our most significant breakthroughs. A setback that initially appears to be a devastating tragedy might, in time, reveal itself as a hidden blessing. The loss of a job could serve as a catalyst to uncover a vocation that resonates more deeply with our inner calling. The end of a cherished relationship might open our eyes to the profound importance of self-love and personal integrity. A personal crisis might be nothing less than an invitation to reinvent our lives, to awaken to a fresh perspective we never knew was possible. Buddhism gently invites us to reframe our view of suffering, not as a relentless tormentor, but as a rare opportunity for growth. It is not about seeking pain for its own sake, but about understanding that every hardship is there to impart an essential lesson. Each challenge we face forces us to develop latent virtues, patience, resilience, compassion, and unveils aspects of ourselves that yearn for healing and transformation. If you are confronted with a daunting challenge, instead of fighting it with every ounce of resistance, pause and ask, "What lesson is hidden within this experience? How can I harness this struggle to evolve?" In doing so, we come to realize that while suffering is an inevitable aspect of life, it does not have to define us. When we absorb its teachings, we no longer regard it as an adversary but rather as a potent instrument for our own evolution. In truth, every trial is simply another stepping stone on our ceaseless journey toward awakening. In moments when life seems to swirl with chaos, we often find ourselves clinging to comfort, drawn to the familiar even when it no longer serves our highest good. When every element of our existence appears to be smoothly under control, we tend to settle into complacency, fearing the unknown. Yet, according to Buddhist philosophy, transformation is born from chaos. The most profound changes often arise from the very moments that unsettle us to our core. It is during crises, painful and disorienting as they may be, that we are jolted out of our routines, compelled to re-examine our beliefs, and forced to venture beyond the limits of our comfort zones. Without such disruptions, we might never develop the new skills, challenge old assumptions, or discover unexplored paths that are essential for our growth. Imagine a tiny seed resting on the surface of the soil, basking in the warmth of the sun yet never buried deep enough to sprout into the magnificent tree it is destined to become. It is only when the seed is pressed into the dark, nurturing earth, forced to break free through struggle, that it finds the strength to grow and reach for the light. Our lives, too, require such struggles. Without the storms and inner breaking points, we would remain static, never unfolding into the full potential that lies within us. Another cherished Buddhist tale illustrates this beautifully. A disciple once questioned his master. Perplexed by the relentless hardships of life, the master led him into a serene forest and pointed to a delicate butterfly ensnared in the grip of its cocoon. Moved by compassion, the disciple carefully tore open the cocoon to liberate the butterfly, only to watch in dismay as the creature emerged with feeble wings. Incapable of flight, the master explained that the struggle to free itself was essential. It was that very effort which had strengthened the butterfly's wings, enabling it to soar. In much the same way, the resistance we encounter in life is not a punishment. It is a necessary force that builds our strength and resilience. Every tumultuous experience beckons us to adapt, to grow, and to discover innovative ways to confront the unknown. Without such chaos, we would remain imprisoned within the boundaries of our comfort zones, missing the opportunity to transform our very essence. Rather than asking, "Why must I suffer?" we can begin to question, "What change is being ushered into my life through this experience?" Reflecting on our past, we often find that our greatest personal growth occurred not during times of tranquility, but amid the storm of crisis. Loss may have taught us to cherish what once seemed mundane. Failure may have made us stronger, and unexpected twists may have steered us toward a path we had never imagined. Embracing chaos does not imply that we relish suffering, rather, it means recognizing that every trial is a vital component of the process of change. When we cease resisting and instead flow with life's natural current, we tap into a wellspring of inner strength we never knew existed. Life is not about avoiding challenges. It is about learning to harness them as catalysts for our evolution. Each crisis is an invitation to become a more evolved, wiser, and liberated version of ourselves. At the foundation of this transformative journey lies the concept of Dharma, the invisible, yet ever-present, order of the universe. There are times when life appears to spiral out of our control, when obstacles emerge without warning and plans unravel in unexpected ways. In these moments, we might begin to question whether we have strayed from our true path. Yet, Buddhism offers a radically different perspective. Nothing occurs by mere chance. Behind every event, there exists a subtle, divine orchestration, an invisible current guiding the dance of existence. This natural law, known as Dharma, governs all creation. It is the quiet, perfect flow that ensures everything unfolds precisely at the right moment and for a specific reason. In this grand design, there are no errors, no random accidents. Even the experiences we perceive as negative are threads woven into a larger, harmonious tapestry. Observe the natural world. The seasons transition with perfect timing. Rivers meander gracefully without force, and trees grow at their own gentle pace. Nature does not question why things are as they are, it simply is. Yet, as human beings, we often struggle with accepting life's inherent unpredictability. We long for our reality to conform to our expectations. And when it does not, we suffer. One evocative Buddhist parable captures this truth vividly. A man caught in a furious storm at sea fought desperately against the tumultuous waves, striving to keep himself afloat. The harder he resisted, the further he was dragged under. Finally, exhausted by his futile struggle, he surrendered, allowing the current to guide him gently back to shore. This is the essence of Dharma. When we relinquish our futile attempts to resist the natural flow of life, we often find that the universe steers us safely to where we need to be. Embracing this wisdom does not require passivity or fatalism. On the contrary, Dharma calls us to live with heightened awareness, to make choices that align with our true selves, and to recognize that suffering often arises when we stray from our purpose. When relationships end, when opportunities fade, or when challenges arise, it may be that life is gently nudging us to recalibrate and return to our authentic path. Buddhist teachings affirm that if something exits our life, it is because it no longer contributes to our growth. If we face hardship, it is because we are being readied for what lies ahead, and if something seems delayed, it is simply because the timing has not yet come. Just as we cannot force a flower to bloom before its season or command the sunrise to appear on cue, we too must trust that our personal journey unfolds in its own perfect rhythm. When we surrender to this natural cadence, anxiety and frustration begin to fade, replaced by a serene acceptance that every moment is exactly as it should be. From the earliest days of our lives, we are taught the illusion of control, that with enough effort, careful planning, and right decisions, we can steer our destiny with absolute certainty. We are led to believe that if we work hard, success is guaranteed, and that by meticulously planning every detail, life will unfurl according to our designs. Yet, sooner or later, life reminds us that its currents cannot be tamed. No matter how diligently we prepare, there will always be elements that slip through our grasp. A relationship that once seemed secure may disintegrate. A career we thought was steadfast might suddenly vanish. Or plans that appeared flawless can unravel for reasons beyond our control. In these moments, we feel a deep sense of frustration, anxiety, and fear, questioning our every move and wondering why our best efforts have fallen short. Buddhism offers a transformative insight into this struggle. Control is but an illusion. Nothing in life is guaranteed, and in our quest for stability, we often end up compounding our own distress. Our minds, hungry for certainty, demand assurances about the future, craving the comfort of guarantees. Yet, life flows in its own rhythm, indifferent to our need for security. An age-old Buddhist story illustrates this truth poignantly. A king, perplexed by the unpredictability of his realm, sought the counsel of 3 advisors. The first attributed the uncertainty to mere chance. The second blamed the chain of past decisions, while the third remained silent. Instead, he led the king to a roaring river and challenged him to halt the inexorable current with his bare hands. No matter how fiercely the king struggled, the water continued its determined course. The advisor then explained that life, like the river, will always flow as it must, and that our only real power lies in learning to move in harmony with its course rather than trying to wrest control from it. Our suffering often stems from clinging to our rigid ideas of how things should be. We convince ourselves that true happiness lies in achieving a specific goal, in preserving life exactly as we desire it, or in holding fast to the notion that nothing should ever change. However, the relentless pursuit of control only deepens our resistance, making it ever harder to navigate the natural course of events. Letting go of control is not synonymous with inaction or apathy. It means embracing the truth that while we can make choices and take decisive actions, we cannot, and should not, force life to adhere to our predetermined script. There exists in Buddhist practice the concept of wu wei, often translated as effortless action or non-doing. This is not a call to indolence, but an invitation to act in concert with the inherent flow of life. By learning to adjust our sails to the prevailing winds rather than fighting against them, we discover a fluid grace in our actions, an ability to adapt and move forward with calm assurance. When we release our obsessive grip on control, a remarkable transformation occurs. Anxiety dissipates, and we become more attuned to the present moment, instead of constantly worrying about what the future may hold. We learn to live fully in the now, cherishing the beauty of uncertainty as an essential component of our journey. One practical approach to cultivating this mindset is to reflect on past instances when life did not go according to plan, only to later reveal unexpected blessings. Perhaps a relationship ended only to pave the way for deeper self-discovery, or a lost job turned out to be the opening for a more meaningful career path. Even failures, as painful as they may seem at the moment, often unearth hidden strengths and insights that enrich our lives. By letting go of the illusion that we can orchestrate every detail, we free ourselves to embrace the mystery of life and find tranquility even amidst uncertainty. There is an undeniable serenity in the unexpected, a unique kind of peace that emerges when we learn to accept the impermanence of all things. Life is an ever-changing mosaic. One moment, everything seems stable, and in the next, it transforms before our eyes. We might lose a job, see a cherished relationship dissolve, or be confronted by challenges we never anticipated. Rather than fighting against these inevitable changes, we can choose to perceive them as natural evolutions, as opportunities for growth that, though initially painful, ultimately lead us to paths of greater fulfillment. Picture yourself adrift in a small boat on a vast, ever-moving ocean. If you attempt to resist the rhythmic sway of the waves, exhaustion will soon set in. But if you learn to move with the current, surrendering to the ebb and flow, you will find that you can navigate even the roughest waters with grace and resilience. A well-known Buddhist anecdote tells of a solitary monk residing atop a mountain, whose calm was once interrupted by a frantic villager. The villager urgently warned him of an approaching, fierce storm and urged him to descend before disaster struck. The monk, with serene composure, replied that if the storm were to come, he would welcome it. Puzzled, the villager protested, "But you might perish." With a gentle smile, the monk explained, "If I am to die, I will embrace death. If I continue to live, I will cherish life. Whatever unfolds, I accept it with open arms." This story does not encourage reckless inaction or disregard for safety. Rather, it teaches us to release the paralyzing fear of what we cannot control. The trepidation of uncertainty often arises from doubting our capacity to handle the unknown. Yet, if we reflect on our past, we realize that we have already surmounted every challenge that life has hurled our way. And this only serves to strengthen our belief that we can conquer whatever lies ahead. Often, the unexpected carries within it hidden opportunities that we may never have envisaged. The loss of a job might lead to the discovery of a fulfilling career. The ending of a relationship might unlock doors to deeper self-understanding. And a sudden crisis may propel us to grow in ways we had never imagined. In moments when our carefully laid plans are abruptly disrupted, it might simply be life clearing the way for something far better. One effective practice to cultivate inner peace in the face of uncertainty is to ask yourself, how many times has an event that seemed disastrous at first later turned out to be a blessing in disguise? Must I have all the answers right now? Or is it possible that by fixating on an uncertain future, I am missing the beauty of the present? Life, in its ceaseless motion, reminds us that resisting change only amplifies our suffering, while acceptance opens the door to true liberation. Ultimately, the path to awakening is not about attaining a distant state of perfection or enlightenment, but about recognizing that every event, even those shrouded in pain and confusion, brings us ever closer to our innermost truth. Enlightenment is not an external prize to be won. It is an inherent aspect of our being, waiting patiently to be discovered through our experiences. Every moment, especially those fraught with difficulty, beckons us to awaken to life as it truly is, unvarnished, real, and filled with the potential for transformation. When we shift our focus from the question, "Why is this happening to me?" to "What can I learn from this?" we transition from a state of victimhood to that of a devoted student of life, where every obstacle becomes a wise teacher and every setback an invitation to grow. In this way, if you find that life feels unbearably heavy or inexplicable at times, trust that every experience, no matter how perplexing, is an integral part of your unique journey. Nothing in your life is wasted, and nothing is random. Every moment is carefully orchestrated to shape you into the person you are destined to become. If these reflections resonate with you, I warmly invite you to join a community dedicated to exploring these timeless teachings, to share your own experiences, and to learn from one another. Perhaps, in your story lies the very lesson that another soul desperately needs to hear today. Thank you for taking this journey with us. And may you continue to walk your path with courage, wisdom, and a deep trust in the magnificent unfolding of your life.